Okay, so there's a report going around that's saying that the Xbox 720 and the PlayStation 4 will be revealed at this year's E3. Now, apparently the source is saying that this is 100% going to happen and is an ultra high level source. So normally when you hear something like a rumor like this, you take it with a grain of salt. However, apparently this is coming from UK's game industry outlet MCV, and they are very reliable and trustworthy. So we can kind of look at this more as just a regular rumor and actually a very good chance of happening. Now, even without looking at this rumor, this makes sense because, for one, the Wii U is coming out this year. They're going to be the first ones out of the gate, and the PS4 and the Xbox 720. Microsoft and Sony haven't even said that they are going to be making these next-gen consoles yet. So they kind of have to step it up, and if they want to compete with the Wii U, bring out their systems. Another thing is that this console war has lasted so long. I can't even think of a console war lasting this long. The Xbox 360 is going to be 7 years old this year, so Microsoft has to make their next console, because if you look at the Xbox, that only lasted 4 years before the Xbox 360 came out. PlayStation 3 is kind of a different story because Sony said that they would have that console for 10 years and gamers wouldn't have to buy the next gen and their next generation console until the 10-year mark was up. So PlayStation 3 right now is going to be turning 6 years old, but I do not see, even though if the PS4 and the Xbox 720 are going to be revealed at this year's E3, I don't see them, especially the PlayStation 4, being released this year. I see the PlayStation 4 being released in 2013, late 2013, around the holidays. That would be the best time to do it because it's an awesome Christmas gift, everyone will go for it, and they'll get the sales that they want. The Xbox 720, however, I can see them kind of trying to push it out for the holiday of 2012. I don't think that's going to happen. I still think that they're going to actually also go for the 2013 release. However, I could see Microsoft trying to do that so that they could be releasing their console just a few months off of the Wii U, because I think the Wii U is going to be released, I think they were saying like this third quarter of the year, or something like that. There's still no official release date for the Wii U, but this year at some point I could see Microsoft wanting to compete with them at the same time. Now, the interesting parts about this is that, well, for one, it's going to be a very expensive year. If the Vita is being released this year in North America, the Wii U is coming out apparently this year, and then if the Xbox 720 pushes it forward to try to be released at the end of the year, and then next year the PS4 comes out, that's going to be super expensive to buy. I can't see everyone buying each console, on day one. That's not going to happen. I can't see that. I was kind of happy that the Wii U is going to be released this year, and I was thinking, oh, well, maybe 2013 we'll see the Xbox 720, 2014 we'll see the PS4, which still might happen. But it's kind of going, not too sure. Another interesting thing, though, regarding price is that what are they going to be marking these consoles at? The PS3, in my opinion, was priced way too high on launch day, and now that, America's in a recession, they don't want to spend a lot of money. Look at the 3DS when it was launched in North America. People are talking about the Vita sales not doing well in Japan, which they aren't, but they haven't been released in North America yet. But then if you compare and the Vita might do well in North America at the beginning because, for one, I see Uncharted being a big North American game, and I see people wanting to buy that, the system for that game, and I don't see Japan really caring about it. If they released a Monster Hunter type of game in Japan, or a really big RPG type of game in Japan, then I see the consumers going over and buying these systems so that they can play those games. But there's no really big Japanese type of game for the Vita at the moment, which is why I'm thinking that they're not doing as well in Japan. However, the 3DS did not do well in North America at the beginning until the price dropped, because people don't want to be spending a lot of money on their consoles or their handhelds. They just don't want to spend a ton of cash at the beginning. So I really want to see what they're going to price, more so the PS4, because I see that one being the more expensive one out of the two. I'll still see the Xbox 720 being the second cheapest, and then the cheapest, I assume, will be the Wii U. So it'll be interesting to see what the prices will be. Hopefully they're not going to be like $700 like the PS3 was. I think that's what it was at the beginning. And I know that if the PS4 is priced at $700, I don't see myself buying that on day one unless I, make a ton of cash just before it's released, and they have an amazing lineup. So there you have it. I will put a link below so that you can read the article from IGN that talks about this. They just talk a little bit more than I did about it, but I basically covered the basics of it. So there you go, everyone, and I'll talk to y'all later.